I didn't recognize her at first, not in that red dress, not with him. She looked untouchable, like she'd burned through her own ashes and came back with sharper edges, and it pissed me off. I told myself she was just reacting, trying to make me jealous, just playing games. But deep down, I knew I lost her the moment I made her question her place. I didn't mean to fall for the other woman, or maybe I did. She made me feel celebrated, worshipped, like the air I breathed mattered. My wife. She was familiar, predictable. She knew every version of me, even the ones I hated, and that scared me. So I treated her like an accessory instead of a partner. I made her doubt her worth because it made me feel powerful. Now she's the one walking away, laughing, desired, and me, I'm the man in the shadows again, watching her reclaim the wildness I used to be part of. Only now, I'm no longer invited. That night at the lounge I saw her glow like she'd swallowed lightning. I wanted to scream, to claim her, to remind her we once had fire. But she didn't even flinch, just said, "You brought her into our home. I'm just bringing myself back to life." And then she walked away, into the pool, with him. Like she was never mine to begin with. She used to write love letters on napkins. Now I imagine her writing stories about how I taught her to vanish, and maybe that's what I deserve. Because some men don't lose their wives, they just build a cage so small, she learns how to fly through the cracks. I couldn't get her out of my mind. Every night, I found myself driving past her house, hoping for a glimpse of the life I once had. One evening I saw her sitting on the porch, alone. The temptation to approach her was overwhelming, but I knew better instead. I parked a few blocks away and watched from a distance. She looked peaceful, content, a stark contrast to the turmoil inside me. I remembered our early days, the laughter, the love notes on napkins, the way she used to look at me like I was her entire world. But those days were long gone. Now she was a stranger, someone I barely recognized. As I sat there, lost in my thoughts, I realized that I had been the architect of my own misery. I had taken her for granted, made her feel small, and now I was paying the price. She had found her strength, her independence, and I was left with nothing but regret. The next day, I decided to confront her, not to win her back, but to apologize, to acknowledge the pain I had caused. I knocked on her door, heart pounding in my chest. When she opened it, I saw a flicker of surprise in her eyes. "I just wanted to say I'm sorry," I began, my voice trembling. "For everything. I know I can't undo the past, but I needed you to know that I regret it all." She looked at me for a long moment, then nodded. "Thank you," she said softly. "But I've moved on. I hope you can too." With that, she closed the door, and I was left standing there, feeling a strange sense of closure. It wasn't the ending I had hoped for, but it was the one I deserved.
He drove past her house last night, lights on, laughter spilling out the windows, her new lover's voice echoing from inside. She used to keep the curtains closed. Now they're wide open. He thought about knocking, saying something dramatic, reminding her of us. But what would he say? "You were supposed to stay broken. You were supposed to forgive me. You were supposed to need me." Instead, he parked 2 blocks away. Just watching, he replayed every fight, every silence, every time she curled into herself while he turned away. He remembered her quiet loyalty, her folded notes tucked in his wallet, her bare feet on cold tile. At 3 a.m., waiting up for him again. And then he remembered the moment she stopped crying. Not out of strength, out of realization that he'd taught her how to be alone. She doesn't hate him. That's what stings the most. She just doesn't see him anymore. Not as a threat, not as a possibility, not even as a ghost worth chasing. At the next lounge gig, he stood in the back. She walked onto the stage in silver heels and a venomous smile, confident, regal, untouched by his orbit. And when her eyes scanned the crowd, they passed right over him. He wasn't even a lesson anymore, just an echo.
I made a mistake, not just a lapse in judgment or betrayal. I broke the heart of the woman who believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. And when I came crawling back, hoping for forgiveness, she looked me in the eye and said, no, out of bitterness, not out of revenge, but because she finally saw her worth, and I had to face the truth. Some bridges don't burn, they collapse. So now I pack my bags not just with clothes, but with consequences. I leave behind the echo of her laughter, the scent of her strength, the home we built, and the future I shattered. Maybe this exile is a gift. Maybe the silence will teach me to listen. Maybe the distance will teach me to feel. And maybe, just maybe, the man I become on the other side of this will be someone worth knowing. I'm not asking for applause. I'm not asking for pity. I'm just walking away. And for the first time. I'm not running.